Welcome to another crochet tutorial with me, Laura, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this watermelon crochet stitch. Okay, so for this tutorial I just happen to be using a DK light worsted weight yarn, so it's a yarn weight of 3, and with that I'm using a 4mm G crochet hook, but you can use any yarn, any hook that you like for this stitch. So just going to use 2 colours, a green and a kind of watermelon peachy pink colour. So the first thing we're going to do is a little slip knot, and we're going to work to units of 6 plus 3 plus an extra 2 for the foundation chain. So the first thing we're going to do though is work to a unit of 6. So it's a 6 times table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we work another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So keep working to a unit of 6 until you've got the length that you want. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should be enough just for this tutorial. And then once you've got your unit of 6, we're then going to add an extra 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. And because we're working just normal chains at the beginning, we're then going to add an extra 2, 1 and 2, which is going to count as a double crochet. So this pattern's in US terminology, so in UK terms, that's going to be counted as a treble. Okay, so you've basically done a unit of 6 plus 5 in total. So then what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and we're going to work into our 3rd chain from our hook. So don't count the loop on your hook. There's our 1st chain, 2nd and 3rd. So into there we are going to work a double crochet. Pull through 2, pull through 2. And those chains there, like I said, are going to be counted as a double crochet. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the next chain. And we're going to work 1 double crochet in each chain across to the end. So this just creates a nice edge for our stitch. So 1 double crochet in each chain across. Okay. Okay, so I've worked 1 double crochet in each chain across, and the reason I say add the extra 2 on top of your 3 at the end if you're working normal chains is because if you work foundation chains, if you've heard of those before, you automatically create double crochets as you're chaining, so you wouldn't add the extra 2 on the ends. You'd only work to a unit of 6 plus 3. So hopefully that makes sense, but anyway, let's carry on and start creating some watermelon slices. I love this design so much, it's so cute. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the first 3 stitches. So we're going to go into that first stitch, and please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I've got so many viewers that watch my tutorials but they're not subscribed, so it really helps my channel grow if you just click that subscribe button, so please. Okay, so 1, 2, and the next stitch 3. Okay, so 1 double crochet in the first 3. And now we're going to create our little watermelon slices. So we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to do 1 single crochet. So in UK terms, that's a double crochet in our 2nd chain from our hook. So don't count the loop on your hook. There's our 1st chain, there's our 2nd. So into there, work a single crochet. Okay, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 chains as well. So we end up with a little stitch count of 5. So 2, single crochet in the next chain, 3, single crochet in the next chain, and a single crochet in that last chain. Okay, so 1 single crochet in those 5 chains. You've got a stitch count of 5. And then we're going to slip stitch in that previous double crochet here. So just on the reverse side, I'm going to pop a little slip stitch in there. And then we're going to get our pink yarn. So grab some pink yarn. I just happen to already have a a little thread of pink yarn on the go from testing this pattern. But we're just going to join that pink yarn or peachy yarn in a little chain one. Okay, make sure to hold that tail end so it doesn't come undone. Pour your green. I'm going to turn our work and work into these single crochets, but to save us sewing in a ton of ends at the end, what I would like you to do, if you can, is carry that tail end. So just pop it along the edge of those single crochets. Okay, so we're going to skip that first stitch there because that's actually our slip stitch. So we want to skip that and work into the next stitch and just pop that pink yarn over the top of your work to carry it. Bring the yarn through and work a single crochet. Okay, just pull that a little bit and then one single crochet in the last 4 single crochets, last 4 stitches. So single crochet in the next stitch. Again, just keeping that tail end being carried. A single crochet in the next stitch. Single crochet in the next stitch. And you can see you've hidden your tail end already, you don't have to worry about it. So if it's hanging out the end, you can just trim it down, should be fine. And a single crochet in the last stitch as well, which is always a little bit harder to get into. There we go. So you've done 1 single crochet in those 5 single crochets. Then we're going to turn our work. We're not going to chain 1 and turn, we're just literally going to turn our work. We're going to skip the first stitch and then do a single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and a single crochet in the next stitch as well. Losing my voice. And then we're going to single crochet the last 2 stitches together. So go into the next stitch, bring the yarn through into the last stitch, bring the yarn through, then yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay. Then again, don't chain 1, we're just going to turn our work straight away and do 1 single crochet in those 3 stitches. So our stitch count's gone down to 3. So a single crochet in there, single crochet in the middle one, and a single crochet in the last one. Then again, we're going to turn our work, don't chain or anything, just turn your work, and we're going to single crochet those 3, it's a bit messy, those 3 stitches together. So we're going to go into that first stitch, bring the yarn through, go into the middle stitch, bring the yarn through, and go into that messy last stitch. Oh my gosh, it's really hard to go in that one. Okay, so you end up with 4 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over, pull through all those loops. Okay, and you've single crochet those 3 stitches together. I'm going to secure that with a little chain 1. Okay, then we're going to cut our yarn. Mine's already cut because I've used this yarn before. So cut your yarn, then just pull that loop through and pull it tight. Okay, so these are the tail ends you will have to sew in at the end. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to go back to our green work. So just ignore your little watermelon slice at the moment and find that working green yarn here. And it's going to be coming out around that 3rd double crochet, and we want to rejoin it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hook into that 3rd double crochet. See where you slip stitched into. Put your hook in there and then just grab the yarn and bring it through. And then you've got a working loop to work with. We're going to yarn over and do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches on this main green project. So 1 double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so 1 double crochet in the next 3. Then we want to fold down our little watermelon. So it's sat at the front because it's doing all crazy things at the moment. We're going to yarn over and put our hook into the corner of our watermelon, just in this little chain on the end. Just grab a little bit of yarn there and then go into the next stitch on the main project. Bring the yarn through both those bits of yarn and do a double crochet. Okay, then do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and next stitch 2. Okay, and there we go. We have completed our first little watermelon slice. It's nicely secured into place at a little cute angle like so. And then we're going to go straight into our next watermelon slice after those 3. So we're going to again chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do 1 single crochet in the second chain along. Single crochet, and do 1 single crochet in the last 4. Single crochet in there. Single crochet in there. Single crochet in there. Single crochet in there. So there we go, we've done 1 single crochet in those 5 chains. And then what we want to do is we want to find that previous double crochet that we worked here, and just on the back we're going to pop our hook into there and do a little slip stitch. Okay, then we want to join some pink yarn, and I've just created a knot here, so let me just undo this before it causes me problems later. Okay, so we're going to grab our pink yarn and we're going to join that in a chain 1, so holding that tail end, bring it through your loop and pull your green, and then we're going to turn our work and work back into these single crochets. And like I said before, try and carry that pink tail end so you don't have to sew it in later, because no one enjoys that. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet. We're going to skip that first stitch there though, you see this one, because that stitch there is actually your slip stitch. So you want to skip that right on the end and go into the next proper stitch, a single crochet, again keeping that pink yarn over the top, and work a single crochet. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in these 5 previous single crochets, so single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and the last 2 as well. Just keeping that a little bit tight, and then in the very last one, which is always a little bit hard to get into because it's on the corner, again carrying that pink yarn, single crochet in there, and this one's actually hanging at the end, so that's a bit easier to cut. I'm just going to trim that down. We don't have to worry so much about that tail end. Okay, so we're going to turn our work. We're going to skip the first stitch, go straight into the second stitch and do a single crochet. Single crochet in the next stitch. Don't worry, I'll put the written version of this on my website as well. And then we're going to single crochet the last 2 stitches together. Okay, then we're going to turn our work, so don't chain 1 or anything, just turn your work and do 1 single crochet in these 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and this one, last one. 3, then turn your work immediately and then single crochet these 3 stitches together. Let's go into the first stitch, bring the yarn through, to the next stitch, bring the yarn through, and then into that last stitch. Bring the yarn through, then we're going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and then we're going to secure with a chain 1. Then cut your yarn. My yarn's already cut because it's just a little scrap piece, and then pull nice and tight, and there's our next little watermelon slice. And again, just like before, we're then going to go back to our main project, find that last double crochet that you slip stitched into, put your hook into there, grab the yarn and bring it through. Now you've got a working loop. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So double crochet the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch and a double crochet in the next stitch. Okay. And then we're going to yarn over, and you want to bring your little watermelon slice down, yarn over and put your hook into the corner, left-hand corner of your little watermelon slice, and then into the next stitch on the main project. Bring the yarn through and complete a double crochet. Then we do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 2 stitches, 1 and 2. And there we go, that's our next little watermelon slice completed. So repeat that all the way to the end. So once you've done these 3 double crochets, you would go straight into your next watermelon slice. So we would chain 6. Okay, so just repeat that all the way to the end. Okay, and then when you come up to the last little watermelon slice, just joining, you should have 2 stitches left, and I'm just going to work double crochets into those. 1 and 2. Okay, let's bring up a loop. So there we go, and then I can just hide these tail ends. I recommend doing it per row, and I've got a few I can just cut down straight away. And then we're going to move on to the next row. So I'm just going to hide these tail ends, and then I'll come back and show you how to work the next row. Okay, so I've tied in those ends. It actually wasn't that painful. It's quite quick. So what we're going to do though is we're going to do a nice simple row of just double crochet. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. We'll do 1 double crochet in the first stitch and 1 double crochet in each stitch across. Okay, so I shall do that, and then I shall come back. And as you work over the watermelon, just be careful not to grab the watermelon stitches. You just want to work into those previous double crochets. Okay. Okay, so we got to the end. Just check you've got a stitch count of the unit of 6 plus 3, so you've still got the same stitch count. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work. So you might have to just pop out your little watermelon slices, and this time we're going to alternate. So we're going to go straight into a watermelon slice. So we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, same thing again, 1 single crochet in your second chain from your hook and in each chain across. So you've got a stitch count of 5, 2, 3, 4, and the last one 5. And then we are going to, we don't have a double crochet to slip stitch into, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet that we made. Okay, and then we're going to join our pink yarn in a little chain 1, bring that through, just pull your green yarn, turn your work, and again carry that tail end if you can, just to save you later. Going to skip that first stitch because it's that slip stitch. Go into the next stitch and work a single crochet, just keeping that yarn, pink yarn on the top to carry it, and 1 single crochet in each stitch across, so exactly the same as before. 2, just check you've got a stitch count of 5, 3, 4, and the last one. Don't choose a stringy yarn like me. 5. Okay, then we turn our work, we skip the first stitch, work a single crochet into the next stitch, and the next stitch, then single crochet the last 2 together. So same as before, turn your work, 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So 1, 2, get some more yarn, and 3, turn your work, single crochet these 3 together. So first stitch, yarn through, next stitch, yarn through, and the last stitch, yarn through. Pull through all 4 loops and secure with a chain 1. Cut our yarn, pull the loop through, put it nice and tight, trim down that tail end here, and come back to our main project. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hook into that first double crochet where we just slip stitch, then pull that yarn through, so we've got a working loop, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the same stitch this time, so not in the next stitch, in the same stitch. So go back into there again and work a double crochet, then 1 double crochet in the next 2, 1 and 2. Then we're going to fold our little watermelon slice over, hanging all the way out the end. I'm going to yarn over and do what we did before. We're just going to go into that corner as neatly as we can, go into the next stitch on the main project and work a double crochet. 1, do 1 double crochet in the next 2 as well. 2 and 3. And there we go, we have a little alternating watermelon slice on the end. If you don't like having one on the end, you can just skip this and just do 1 double crochet in the first 6 before working your next watermelon. It's entirely up to you. You could have just gaps on the end and then watermelons in the middle. It's entirely up to you. But then after that last double crochet, we do the same thing again. We chain 6 and create a little watermelon slice. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So then just repeat the same pattern all the way across that you did for the previous row. Okay, so when you get to the end, I almost didn't film that because I got so carried away in my own little world. What we're going to do is the same thing again. I'm just going to rejoin that green yarn through that last double crochet, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches. 1, 2, and actually we don't have the extra one at the very end, so we're going to have to join this last watermelon in that 3rd stitch rather than the 4th stitch. So go into that last stitch through the left hand side corner of your watermelon and complete a double crochet. And I really am losing my voice today. So there we go, that's the 2nd row of little watermelon slices. So again, I'm going to hide my tail ends, and then the next row you would create another, do a chain 1 turn and do 1 double crochet in each stitch across, keeping a stitch count of a unit of 6 plus 3. Okay, and when you get to the watermelons, just be careful not to work into the actual watermelon. So just find that double crochet, find that stitch. She says. There it is, there's a little stitch, and just be careful to avoid your watermelon. That's probably the only little difficult one. Stitch across, and this one has all these stitches coming out of it, and just work 1 double crochet in each stitch across. Okay, so I shall do that, hide my tail ends and come back. Okay, and there we go. I've hidden the tail ends. I haven't joined mine because I quite like them just loose like that. And then we would just move on to the next row which would be exactly the same as this row here. So we would do 1 double crochet in the first 3 and then start our first watermelon. So we do a little chain 1, turn, then 1 double crochet in the first 3, and then we would create our next little watermelon slice. 1, 2 and 3, and then you would chain 6. So this row is just a repeat of this row. So I will do one more row and then come back and show you the finished stitch, and I may add some like little seeds with some black yarn as well to really set this design off. But I hope you enjoyed this little watermelon stitch. It's super cute, super fun. So at the end of this row, which is the same as this one here at the beginning, you should end on the double crochet where you join the little watermelon slice, and you should have 2 stitches left, so 1 double crochet in the last 2. And then it should hopefully, I've made a really messy stitch at the end because I'm on camera and I'm panicking. It should look a little something like this. So they're alternating again like this first row. So I'm going to hide my tail ends and I'll just come back and show you what it looks like a little bit neater. But I really hope you enjoyed that stitch. Okay, so I've tied in all my ends and I've even added some little black seeds as well. I'm also adding some little white stitches. Now I've left this to the end. You probably could work some slip stitches as you do each stitch, but I'm trying to keep this a little bit beginner friendly. But I'll just show you how I've been doing this little extra stitch, which I think really sets off the little watermelon design. Is you bring up some yarn, so we're just sewing these on, you bring up some yarn, and then where you've come up we go back down, but hold on to your yarn. You want to keep a little loop here, and then we're going to move over 1 stitch, and before you pull that through you just want to thread that through your loop. Okay, and then pull that tight, creates a little stitch. Then we're going to go back down through the stitch again, but again keep a little loop available and come up through another stitch slightly further up, and then thread that through the loop so we catch the loop on the top like so. And again we're going to sew down through that loop, again keeping a loop, so you're going to have to remember just loop loop loops and then come up another stitch, come through this loop so you catch this loop, and we just do that all the way across to create these sort of like sewing some chains. So you could slip stitch these as you make each little watermelon, or you could just leave it out entirely. It's entirely up to you. It's really your level of patience. I think this design probably wouldn't be very good for like a huge blanket, because a little bit of sewing involved if you want to follow all these steps. But I think it's a really nice little stitch design that you could add just as a trim around the edge or make something small. And as you do get to the end, rather than going through the loop, we're just going to sew over the edge, and then just that pulls that stitch down. And I'm just carrying this yarn, so I'm going to start my next one by just coming up the edge of this little watermelon and doing the same process over again, keeping a loop and then coming up through that loop. Okay. Going back down through the loop, but keeping a loop, coming up for the next stitch, catching that loop, and just doing that for every little watermelon if you want to. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you managed to follow along. It's probably not the easiest or quickest of tutorials, but I really hope it's something fun, something summery, and a little bit different for your crochet stitch portfolio. And I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed this tutorial. And I'll see you soon for some more crochet crafting fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.